Hello everyone, my name is Dominic. Today I'm wearing my Banana Heaven t-shirt and I'm going to tell you something about expressing your opinion in the English language. So stay tuned. Banana Heaven t-shirt. So if you haven't noticed, there are loads of bananas on here. And today, as I said, we are going to talk about expressing one's own opinion. You will learn how to agree, how to disagree, and how to partially agree in the English language. This is obviously necessary not only when talking to one another, but especially also when writing. And you need to write quite a lot for your Matura as well. So these bits and pieces of information are really necessary in order to create a text where you want to express your opinion. So we switch to the PowerPoint and I'm shrinking as you've just experienced. I will go on via giving you an overview of what I've prepared for today. First and foremost, we start off, why do we need such phrases in the English language? Then afterwards we are going to have a look at how you do it. And I split the presentation into three parts. So first and foremost, how to express agreement, so how you say yes, and then how to express partial agreement when you want to say yes, but I want to add something, and then also how to express disagreement. So if you think, no, my partner has said something that is absolutely bullshit and I want to phrase it in another way. But the last part will be the in-action demonstration dialogue. We are going to talk about international trade. It will be the dialogue out of a demonstration exam, and my lovely partner over there, Katrin, whom you can't see at the moment, will then be the one talking about this topic, and I will be inquisitive and obviously very interested in what she's got to say. Okay, we start off with the why, the big question why. And first and foremost, it is such phrases that I'm going to present to you in a few moments are necessary because you want to express your own opinion. And this is obviously super duper important in our world because you need to be able to switch perspective, to be able to argue, to put yourself in someone else's shoes and think like them, change your perspective, and really show that you can talk about a topic from diverse angles, yet always sticking to your opinion. These words are also important when you want to influence someone's brain, when you really want to drag someone towards your opinion. And yes, as I already said, the last point, bullet point, I've already said it, to reflect upon a certain topic. This is necessary so your conversation partner is able to see, okay, he's able to look at a certain topic from diverse angles, and this is obviously necessary also in the Matura when you are asked actually to talk about a topic, as you will see afterwards. Right, here you've got a list of what kind of words you may use in the context of agreement, how to express agreement. And there are some very obvious ones, some very easy ones, like for example, I totally agree with your point of view, for example, you can say, or definitely, I see it from a similar point, or similar is actually then already partial agreement. I couldn't agree more. So you really see the point of your conversation partner absolutely and precisely, very similar, and you begin a sentence with it. If you have it in written language, so if you write it in a text, sometimes there is a comma, so pay attention to that. That is a good point, very easy. It's a full statement when you just agree with someone else. I think so too. Not that elaborate, one needs to say, but possible in spoken, not in written context. I know exactly what you mean. I think you've heard that already somewhere. And I go with you there. I like that one quite a lot because it has this metaphor that you are on the same path as someone else and you go there together with a conversation partner. And I think I share the same idea. There you express actually that you think about something and you think that both of you think of the same way, and quite straightforward is then you're absolutely right. So you completely agree with someone else and you have the same opinion, and this is why you could use this term. However, now come some very British phrases, how to express partial agreement when you really think, okay, my conversation partner has some points that are of interest, however, you want to add something, you don't agree with everything, and you really want to reflect upon a topic from diverse angles as well, if you want to add something. And this is very, very British. If you, for example, watch Downton Abbey or something like this, you will find these phrases, like for sure. Like for example, we start off with, I see your point, but I'm not convinced about this and that. Or, I see where you are getting at, but also there you've got this metaphor, you see the path of someone else where he's getting to, but the important bits of information always follow after the but. That's a possibility. However, it's also very nice to say if you see, for example, you agree, okay, you've said something that's right, but you want to add something. I'm not sure about that, so quite straightforward. I think that is clear. That is a good argument, but very polite as well. Surely very British. However, so you see the point of someone else, but you want to add something. Good point, still, or with respect, Miss Potter, for example, and this is what the X and Y stands for. I partially agree with your opinion. So a really elaborate phrase that you can use in a conversation where you really want to say, okay, I want to add something that is not really your point of view. We move on to weak disagreement, also very typical phrases, or even more typical in the context of British language users. I beg to differ. Not necessarily. Actually. So you can also say actually, I'm just oversaturated concerning British pronunciation. I'm afraid I disagree. So that is, I like that one as well quite a lot because it's very common in British soap operas. To be honest, I do not share the very same view. So that actually sounds very, very British. If you really want to say, you're so absolutely wrong, but I'm nice and I'll tell you what's right now. Or I'm not convinced. You could also go for that. And the strong disagreement is also quite easy. You just say, I see this issue rather differently. You really say, okay, you've got your opinion and I want to say something else. I do not go along with this view, for example. I do not agree with this idea. I completely disagree, or very strong, this is not true. But this is like a really strong statement. When you have facts supporting your opinion, then you may use such a phrase. As I said, you can use these phrases in written and also in spoken domains. So domains are scenarios, or when you write a text, or in dialogues. For most of them suitable for both contexts. And now we move on to the action part of the sorry, pardon me, I just got a wink by Katrin and that distracted me.
Sorry, Donkey Kong says nice stream.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Oh, nice to have you here, Donkey Kong. Okay, now we move on to the action part of this stream. Namely, we are going to have a look at the dialogue part of a demonstration exam. So in order that you see how this can work. So this is the topic global trading, which you will also be confronted with next week. In the demonstration exams, and as you may know, blah blah blah, introduction, yada yada yada, and we move on to task 2, so to the role playing, so you can see these words in action with Katrin. I'm going to read it out loud right now. After your talk, you open the discussion up to questions about global trading. Explain how you would market a product internationally, and which resources one could use in order to promote a certain product. Use the ideas from the text provided as well as your own. Right, and we start off with the following, that the scenario is the following, that Katrin, here is Katrin. So it's her fault that I was distracted. No, it was
wasn't
Donkey
I-
Kong's fault, actually.
It's not his fault, it was a nice comment.
Yeah.
We
And
don't get that often. We have to celebrate.
it's so fitting with the bananas.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong, now I get it even more. Right, and the situation is the following, that Katrin is an expert in the field of global trading, we believe, and she will then talk about this issue, and then we'll have an argument concerning it. So you start off with how would you market a product internationally, and I might agree, I might not agree with your opinion, and we start off a conversation. So a slightly modified version, but based on a dialogue that could actually could be in part of your exam. We do not know, but we hope that you get the best puzzle pieces to do it then on your own. Yes, I'll start off with the general introduction. So thank you very much for coming here, Miss Potter. And yeah, we were just, as you've heard, we have got quite a lot of products in our line of clothing and so on and so forth. And we think of actually starting off trading internationally, and we have our doubts and thoughts in that, because there are advantages and disadvantages, obviously. And first and foremost, as you're an expert of the field, we are absolutely interested in your point of view right now.
Well, thank you for having me here.
Yes,
I think
a pleasure.
the most important part is that you just get people to show your clothes overseas, in Asia, in Australia, wherever you want to go with your clothes line. So it's actually very important that you get influencers and stars, maybe I don't know, people you have relations to wear your clothes, to make them public.
Yeah, I see where you're getting at this point. However, as you know, obviously, we are a company that is aware of the environment as well, and this is also one issue where we have our doubts concerning the marketing, because it has to do with global training and obviously the emissions and so on and so forth.
I see your point, but nevertheless, you could always just I mean, you don't have to produce them the clothes here and then send them overseas. Why don't go into the country where they have the infrastructure to produce your fair ecological clothing, and then work with them? So have a kind of like a co-partnership.
Yes, I partially agree with you. Obviously, this is one way to solve this problem concerning our company, because we thought about this as well. But we are somehow concerned concerning the money that we are going to spend.
I do see that also, that it's that could be a big impact on your budget, but I'm totally convinced that if you want to expand your company, you will have to invest. And I don't think you will disagree with me on that. So you just need to know how much you want to invest and how far you want to go.
Yeah, that is actually a really good point. I share the same view. And what would you suggest? Where should we start off? Because we are like a Europe-based country. Where would you go for, and why?
Well, I would think about like, what is the country or a new market where you have most in common with. So when you want to go to the South African market, I think they have a sense for European fashion style. There's also
good. Yes. I see your point.
On the east and west coast of the US, there is a sense for European fashion. So if you want to, you have to look for things you have in common with the different markets, and then it might be easier for you to just go there and find people to work with. Do you agree?
I agree. That is such a good starting point. Thank you for your valuable input. and
You're so welcome.
yeah, and we see each other soon, I think, at the workshop later on.
Okay, we will.
Yes.
There you go.
Very well done. So I took some notes while we were talking and making our financial plans for the future. So today the topic is clothing due to banana heaven. And I just wrote down some of the points. For example, when I started off and also was not agreeing with Katrin in the first place, she started off with "I see your point," really sharing that she has got a clue what I am talking about. She then moved on with the term nevertheless. So it's very similar to however, and that was a smart move because this is how she could add her point of view and in her role play also her expertise. And then afterwards, when she explained, and I said, I see why you are getting at, so because I like the phrase quite a lot. And then Katrin, for example, said, I do see yada, yada, yada. And this is also another way to agree with someone else. I see means you've got an idea, but I do see is really stressing the point. You even added another phrase to the list. Amazing.
Thank you.
And then she also said she's totally convinced by blah, blah, blah. And this was also expressing her opinion, her point of view. And another time I said, for example, I see your point, and I added something. And this was, so to speak, a successful use of phrases to express opinion. An agreement, agreeing, agreement, a disagreement, and also partial agreement. And we are now by the end of this stream. We hope that you enjoyed and liked this stream. And we are going to see each other next week with a demonstration exam. And I wish you a very nice evening and enjoy your dinner. Goodbye.